Okay. We'll call this meeting to order. Ask Treasurer O'Brien to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank
Please note
you.
this meeting is being recorded and broadcast live on YouTube and will be distributed to local community access channels for potential rebroadcast. First item on the agenda, minutes, May 8th.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept May 8, 2025 minutes.
Motion Commissioner Wright, second Commissioner Valenzola, all in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to accept and approve CPS forms for Cameron Macedo, promotion to building supervisor, JG-2, and Tammy Carrera, retirement as of August 12, 2025.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. Motion to vote and accept, approve vendor vouchers.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to vote and accept and approve payroll vouchers.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve the parking contract for the town of Rutland.
Nope, that's not a right one.
Nope.
Deputy Treasurer Welch.
Good evening, Commissioners. Commissioner Wright. I'm going to bring before you the contract for parking services, parking ticket services for the town of Rutland, Massachusetts, not Vermont. This would be the 43rd member of the parking program. It is the first municipality from Worcester County.
Nice.
Expected to do about 100 tickets a year. No, not a huge community, but it's actually around the median from our members. So it kind of puts them around the size of Marshfield or Mattapoisett tickets. So that brings us right now to 20 Plymouth County towns, 20 non-Plymouth County municipalities. So we're now 50-50 on that. And then 3 state agencies. So I'm going to ask you guys to just sign this in triplicate. One copy for them, one for the commissioner's office, and then one for the parking office.
Thank you.
Just a preview of things to come. I did, we do have an agreement in principle with North Shore Community College. So they're just sending over the documents to us electronically. They're a state agency, so they do everything sort of, like DocuSign. So, I expect to see some emails from them to your PlymouthCounty.gov at some point in the near future. I imagine with the holidays, it might be sometime early next week. You folks will, we'll just schedule a ratification of it for the next meeting. We did have one little fun thing here, at least I think it's fun. I love maps.
Me too. Thank you.
So this is what we look like now. This is our geographical footprint. of Plymouth County parking.
This is fantastic.
I love those. I love that we are on the New York border.
Yes, as I tell everybody when we do, my little marketing meeting, is that we go from the New York border all the way from one end of the state to the other, from West Stockton in the west to Provincetown to the east. If you like the alphabet, we go from Abington to Yarmouth. There is no towns beyond Yarmouth in the alphabet.
Well, before Abington.
Yes, correct. So, yeah, these are good. So we'll hopefully we'll have some again paperwork from North Shore Community College at the next meeting, give or take, and then hopefully I got a couple others that we got negotiations with, and we'll see where that goes to.
Great.
So,
Very
Can I
good.
say something?
Of course.
I just want to say thank you so very much. I can't believe that the parking department or the parking information and how it's grown has excited me so much, because, going back to years before and, just not moving and, thinking about maybe just getting rid of it. So here we are today, and now we've got, what'd you say, 43 communities now involved in it, and just beginning to grow even more. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Thank you, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank this board for the resources that we put towards the program. And also, I did get a phone call from Jan Drew, who ran the department for about 20 years. She ran through some of the toughest times financially that the county had, and the county couldn't put the resources towards it to get us where we are. And she was complimentary of what she's seen the program too. And I reminded her that we would not be here today without the foundation that she laid years ago. I couldn't do any of this again without that foundation and the resources that you guys are providing us.
Well, it just shows that we have a great team. We work together. Thank you.
And a solid example of the county stepping in when the state voiced an unfunded mandate on our communities, both in the county and clearly outside the county, so.
Mm.
I echo Commissioner Wright's sentiments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Welch.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so
Next.
next is motion, I haven't signed that, I'm sorry. Motion vote pricing for 2025 vehicle addition for GMC Chevrolet for the commissioner's vehicle bid repay. So voted to approve the addition of the following vehicles manufactured by the Chevrolet Motor Company to the current Plymouth County Municipal Vehicle Bid Chevrolet number 2023-2026, awarded to Gordon Chevrolet Inc., DBA Colonial Municipal Group, CMG 11 Pilgrim Hill Road, Plymouth, Mass.
motion Commissioner Wright, second Commissioner Valenzola, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. ARPA. Treasurer O'Brien.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioner Wright. You don't have any votes in front of you today. We're all caught up on that front. But two quick things, if I could, just a reminder, you guys have authorized the preparation of additional allocations to those communities that had submitted a request for more resources above and beyond what was originally allocated. We are preparing those diligently and working with the team. As you know, that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is my expectation that those will be ready for you to vote on June 5th. Pretty good timing because there's an advisory board. Leave it to you to decide whether you announce the votes that you'll be taking. I can't 100% commit, but we're working toward that goal. If not, it would be at a subsequent meeting. That's a good reminder. I am hoping, I know you have your schedule, and I know there may be discussions of meetings. But I am going to request that you schedule at least temporarily a meeting on June 26th, which I think is the last Thursday of the month, just in case community needs something before the end of the fiscal year. That would have like you did it in December for those communities that were bumping up against the deadlines. That's an opportunity to try and provide relief to them if necessary. But obviously, that's a request. The schedule is yours to set. Lastly, I'll just let you know of an upcoming check presentation. We just confirmed it literally about half an hour ago. I can send an email, or I don't know what your desires are to know about them too far ahead of time.
You can announce it.
So we'll be doing an ARPA check presentation on June 23rd at 6 p.m. and you will be the first on the agenda.
Good.
For
And that's what time?
Abington, I'm sorry.
Abington.
Abington at the time. I just said ARPA.
Is that the only one for now? Or,
That is the only one for now. It is a big presentation, over $500,000.
wow.
And they are excited.
You said at 6 p.m.
Yes, 6
Yeah.
p.m. first on the agenda. I know that's a good place to be on a busy agenda.
Very good.
So that's really all I have for ARPA. The program continues to wind through its reporting. We continue to work with the sub-recipients. I will tell you that a couple of the sub-recipients are faced with challenges on the monies they receive directly, which we know as NEU monies or non-entitlement unit monies, separate from the county monies. And we try to provide help where we can on that front as well.
Great. Any opera questions?
No,
No, I am all set as well. We just appreciate the work the treasurer and his team have done and continue to do diligently for communities in the county.
amazing that it's all over. That it's
Yeah,
at
well,
the
it's still
final end or
continues, but
winding
it's-
down.
And I do think it's important, and I'm glad you said something, Commissioner Rick, that people know we still have a lot of audit reporting
Oh,
that
of
we have
course,
to do.
yep.
I get an email twice a week from the US Treasury. And they apparently have been tasked with monitoring more how this money was spent and what's being done. The good news is we are in very good shape in that front, but it's a little more robust than even I think we had expected. We planned for that. We have CLA ready to go. We have CBIZ ready to go. And we have some allocations for that. But it's far from over. And there's a lot of reporting, and I do think the towns appreciate the fact we're doing that reporting for those monies that we received.
Absolutely. I
Very
agree.
good.
Okay, next item, registers report. I do not see Mr. Buckley. We will go to the treasurer's report. Treasurer O'Brien.
Commissioner Wright has correctly been asking for the monthly updates, and I have finally been able to dedicate some time and effort and resources. We've been very busy, as you know, the entire team with ARPA and catching up on a number of things, and we certainly learn a lot through this office with the work we do, Mayflower and others. But this is the monthly report that I provide to you folks. This goes back to October, the last time we had an update, and this is each month. You can see the number your eyes always want to see is down the bottom right. You always want that to be a little bit of a positive number. And you can see through October, we were projecting and tracking to be positive to a fairly good number. As we move to November, you see that number went down. Hence the caution that we took and that you folks continue to take as to what was going to happen through the end of the year. The good news is that all the departments are running on schedule. You'll see a bit of a deficit in the maintenance department, which is what prompted us in December, we moved to that month, to reallocate some of the resources that we had, what we call the votes you took in December, and the advisory board took in December to allocate more money. That's why if we follow from November to December, you'll see the projected revenue increasing and projected expenses increasing commensurately to cover some of anticipated expenses. And you judiciously dedicated money to one-time expenses, including retirement expense and OPEB. So things looked a little rosier in December as a result of those moves. You move toward January, and you can see that a little less. So we remain cautious, but still working with the positive. You go to February, and you see again a little bit less, but remaining the positive. And coming up to March, which is the last full month that we have all the data for, still a little bit less than the month before, but we feel good enough now that we can project that we will finish in the positive for fiscal year 25, given the resources that have been dedicated to the operations of the county for this fiscal year. Good prudent management has been helpful. The team works diligently together. We have great partnerships with all the department heads, and we continue to run the operation the way you would like it run. Very fiscally responsible and making sure that we don't overspend in any area and save where we can.
What I think is indicative or great to see is, I know we had originally put one-time money into the revenue side. And if I'm reading this correctly, we are yet to use that one-time money.
So actually, are we on March 31st? Is probably the easiest.
Yes.
one to
Yep,
work
that's
through.
the one I'm looking at.
So you'll see that you dedicated on the revenue side, money in, well, the money came in. On the revenue, on the expense side, you see it dedicated to the county retirement system, and we have spent that money. We sent that money over
Right.
to the retirement.
Right.
We also increased the amount going to OPEB, and that money has been sent to the OPEB trust, which actually has reduced your liability significantly.
Right.
So we have spent the money that you folks allocated.
The correct, but if we turn this projection, that would generally negate. And we would be able to place this money back into our stabilization fund for the future.
If the projection, if I understand correctly, if the projection continues as we're seeing and hits that number in the bottom right-hand corner, then yes, that would be additional resources that you could dedicate.
And that's what I'm driving at, because one of the things I think we've talked about, or at least I have, and I think I can speak for Commissioner Wright, has been trying to make this into a sustainable model that isn't relying on stabilization or unreserved fund balance to balance our budget. Certainly in leaner times, which I think we're in right now, in the real estate market, I didn't have a problem with it, but obviously the very stark reality of running out of stabilization money would eventually rear its head. So if we are able to finish out this year and frankly rededicate that surplus back into our stabilization, I think that's a win, considering some of the financial hardships we're seeing our friends in the municipal and state government facing. So I think it's a incredible effort, and I think you said it at the top, Treasurer, on our part collectively, the registrar's part and every other department head's part, that we continue to run a fantastic operation, providing services, as we just heard the deputy, it's continuing to expand parking program in your office, doing so while still being able to turn, a profit with, again, no ability to collect or override property taxes. So I, do want to thank you and everybody, because this is something that frankly has, I don't want to say bothered me, but it's something that I've had on my mind pretty much since the day I was sworn in. And I think if we can continue to make this a sustainable model, which has been a sacrifice for everyone, a sacrifice for all of our department heads. But in the long run, it'll ultimately be worth it, and we've been able to do so without having to harm anyone's employment or anything like that. So I thank you for that. I don't think I have any other further questions.
If I could just, I think those are points well made, I'll point out on this, if you look under revenue, you don't see anything from real asset disposition, unappropriated fund balance, or reserve for
Right.
stabilization. So, you know, this is the first time we've been able to do that. It's been your goal collectively, mine as well. And so that is the point, I think, one of many that you're making. Good fiscal management leads to those kind of decisions. Also, I will point out that each team is contributing to this effort. The administrator and Nancy and Tammy over in that office, and Nancy particularly on the municipal procurement, you can see that's exceeding expectations and continues to bring more revenue than we were expecting because of their good effort. So to your point, not only are we sustaining, we're growing within the same budget. We continue to work very hard and spend long hours. Our team on the federal grants and awards, you know, that doesn't just happen overnight. That's a lot of effort that's being available, that's answering the phones, returning the calls, filling out the paperwork. You know, people think that happens and you haven't grown the staff.
Right.
That just means more work by the people that we have to generate these results. So your 2 points, one, good fiscal management, two, continuing to do more with less, I think is reflected in this report.
Absolutely. Commissioner Wright.
Yeah, I guess I'm just looking at the, under total projected revenue, the $906,841, less the expenses of $353, which is in parentheses here, which was a minus, and then we end up with $553,353.58. That's going forward with what we are expected to have, for expenses, or is that's the difference? I guess I'm just confused in that.
In other words, that is the difference.
Yep.
And that is so the challenge that you give me is to produce this document, because it does require some assumptions and projections. And so I'm doing my best as we go along to project where we're gonna be at the end of the year. So this is my projection, based on all the information I can assimilate, that this is where we would finish. So if the year ended now, we would finish in the positive. You
Okay,
can see that those projections have actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
The number isn't changing that much.
right.
So I can sit here and say, we'll be in that ballpark, is my sense. Now, if we have a major catastrophic failure of a piece of machinery and that costs money, you know, that has an impact.
Any unexpected
Correct.
things that
Right.
come up.
Right now, we're projecting that we should finish with a positive amount of money. And it's been a while since we've been able to say that with a level of confidence.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is what makes me nervous, is we haven't been able to say that in a long time.
Well, that's why I was excited to be able to present you with this information, which might
Yep.
appease some of those nerves.
Good, very good. Thank you so much. I think that this is just, you know, fantastic and going forward. And this is with all the projects and everything that we have going on also.
That's why it took a bit to assimilate all the information, and again, and you know this, Frank is a pleasure to work with. He monitors his departments very well, working with Molly, working with the Register of Deeds, getting this information. They're very helpful to put this together.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay.
Great job.
And lastly, just I would be remiss if I didn't also thank Peter for in our office, our comptroller. I always like to try and give credit above and beyond that recognition, which you folks think you should know the time and effort he puts into this, making sure it's accurate. Gives me comfort too to stand here and know that I'm giving you this type of good information.
Great.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Treasurer O'Brien. If you
Thank
need
you.
nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion so moved.
Motion Commissioner Wright, second Commissioner Valenzola, all in favor?
Aye. Okay. That is the quickest.